Welcome back to Mindset Monday. I'm Gene Zanetti, your coast-to-coast mindset coach from Winning Mindset, the top sports-specific systematic mindset training system anywhere in the world, Winning Mindset. Okay, so today we're going to talk about the foundation for building a culture. All right, a lot of coaches come to me saying they want to build a culture. All right, when we talk about building a culture, we spoke about it before. What are the things you need to incorporate? Right. Well, now here's what I want to do with building a culture is creating a well-oiled machine. How do you create a well-oiled machine that turns into a dynasty where year in and year out, you're a perennial success? Okay, so yes, we know we have to have a shared common goal. We talked about this in the past. Shared common goal, shared principles, shared language, all those kind of things. Well, the foundation is making sure that everyone is on the same page. Parents, coaches, and athletes. Okay, you want all three of those parties on the same page. Of course, you'd want the fans to be on the same page, but they're a little bit more on the outside. The fans will tend to follow everyone else. Okay, but the coaches, the parents, and the athletes, that's a well-oiled machine. You want them all on the same page. So when we talk about team mindset training, it's very critical to remember we want not only do your athletes come to the mindset sessions, but of course the coaches too. Okay, now on top of the athletes and the coaches inside the mindset training that we run with your teams, the big thing is you also want to have your parents inside those meetings. Now, if you're a college team, maybe you're not able to do that. So maybe then you would bring administration in. But if you're a high school team, you want coaches, parents, and athletes. So as many parties that are intimately involved, bring them in. If you're a high school coach, you might also coach another sport. I think most high school sports coaches coach multiple sports. It's a good idea to bring in the coaches and the athletes and the parents from another sport into your sport that you're currently in season with. Okay? Now there's multiple benefits for that. First of all, kids talk in school. Okay? Kids communicate back and forth. If their friends are using the same language as them, if the friends are have the same perspective, the same analogies, the same great mindset lessons as they are, they're going to be mutually reinforcing one another. So it's going to create a well-oiled machine. Also for the coaches, I know a lot of coaches struggle with the budgeting issue, right? Well, the benefit of bringing in another team is now you could split it between two booster clubs. Also, a lot of coaches, they have a recreation team, a youth program, a feeder program. We're strong proponents of, okay, let's say we're dealing with a baseball team. Okay, let's say you're a baseball coach. You want your parents, your athletes, and your coaches all in these mindset workshops. Now, if you have a youth program, any kind of recreation teams that lead into your high school, we'd want to bring them in too. So you go into either a classroom, not even a classroom, but an auditorium or a cafeteria, bring them in with you, the parents, the coaches, and the athletes. So now you have your incoming 7th and 8th graders speaking the same language, using the same principles, sharing the same philosophies. And I'm sure I don't have to tell you as coaches, you could see there's a lot of very well-meaning, but we'll call it poorly educated parents. Not poorly educated, that's not the way to put it, but the fact that a lot of times parents could undermine the lessons that we're giving if they're focusing too much on stats, if they're focused too much on records, rankings, seedings, predictions, if they're focused too much on the outcome. Then a lot of times the parents, sometimes well-meaning, but they move the kid in the other direction of what we're trying to do. So you want to create a well-oiled machine. So as many people that are involved in your baseball family as you have, you want to bring them in. Athletes, coaches, and parents. Then you take the feeder program also. Now, maybe you're not going to bring all kindergarten through 8th grade, right? But maybe you take your most serious 6th graders, most serious 7th graders, and the majority of your 8th graders, and you bring them in with the team. And you do your mindset workshops in a library or in an auditorium or in a cafeteria. So now they're hearing the same language. So now for you as the coach, it becomes easier when your 7th and 8th graders come in as freshmen. They're already indoctrinated into the system. Okay, they're already thinking the same way, and indoctrinated in a good way in this case, right? So everyone's speaking the same language. We're using the same terms. We're using the same analogies. We create a culture, and it's a well-oiled machine. You have athletes, parents, and coaches saying the same things. That's how you create a lasting change. You don't want to have great mindset sessions, then the kids go home, and then unfortunately the parents, they're way off base. They're focusing too much on winning and losing. They might mean well. I meant well when I was talking to my younger brothers, but I didn't know any better at the time. So I was always focusing on winning and losing and about the outcome. So I want to bring everyone together. And think about it. If you have your recreation program or youth program that comes in, now you're able to split that budget with the high school baseball team, youth baseball team. We also would say, why don't you bring your softball team in on it? So now the girls come in on this too. A lot of times the athletic director is happy to hear you have the boys and the girls both getting help in the same mindset session. Now, another added benefit, the softball team probably has a feeder program too. So now what you could do, and you could split up the groups a little bit, but usually when you're able to take the baseball team and the youth program, the softball team and their youth program, now you have 4 booster clubs that you're able to split this amongst. And what we usually see then, what we see then is now teams can wind up doing a much bigger program than they would have been able to do on their own. So the more mindset workshops that your team gets, or that your school gets, the greater breadth and depth of information they're going to all get. So it's just a win-win for everyone. Now, let's say if you were the baseball coach and you also coach track, bring the track team in. Maybe you have a friend who coaches football, bring the football team in. Okay, so we're not capping it to any kind of number. You could bring in multiple sports at your school to do this. And again, the benefit is now you're creating a well-oiled machine. You have friends. So even if you're just the football coach, now you have friends of your football players, the lacrosse team, the golf team, whatever, their friends are now using the same language because they're involved in the same programs. Now, a lot of coaches are teachers out of school. So now they're sharing the same philosophies. So what happens is that the mindset becomes ingrained in the school. It starts to take root, and now you're able to really build a strong culture within the whole school as a whole. And again, we've worked with many times we've given back to school introductions to all the teachers. I used to be a school psychologist, so I know what it's like being an administrator at a school. I know what it's like seeing the teachers and the struggles going into a new school year, coming back from winter break, all these kind of things. So we could help the school in multiple ways. Our academic mindset program is there. So never get worried when you think about the budget. Okay, there's ways of doing it. We could get your principal involved. We could get your superintendent involved. And very often, when the principal, when the superintendent, when the athletic director sees that these mindset lessons are much more than sports, these are life lessons. Once they really understand that we're using sports as a vehicle to build virtue for life, then the funds are usually there. The same thing. When you bring parents into the mindset sessions and we're explaining that confidence is confidence, mental toughness is mental toughness, very frequently, we've seen 1 or 2 parents pay for the entire thing. And now the whole team benefits because you have a few generous parents who understand that, again, discipline is discipline. Relaxing under pressure is relaxing under pressure. It doesn't matter if you're in a championship competition or taking the SATs or ACTs or in a job interview or saying no to drugs, peer pressure. How many times do you see now the vaping problem? Suicide is high, right? You see all these terrible things. What's going on here? There's a lot of kids are struggling, right? The priest just talked about it in church today. The 2 biggest struggles among Generation Z, anxiety and depression, right? So there's a lot of societal influences on us, and a lot of times we're just mentally weak. We don't know how to handle it, okay? So we want to teach these kids how to be mentally tough and using sports as a vehicle for their entire lives. So we want that to be the message. The goal is building virtue. If you build virtue, you're going to succeed in sports, and that's going to carry over to school. That's going to carry over to your career. You're going to be a better son or daughter. You're going to be a better citizen. You're going to be better in your faith. If you don't build virtue and all you focus on is winning, you might be a star athlete, but those lessons are not going to transfer to school, to your family, to your faith, to your career, and so on and so forth, your personal relationships, okay? You strive for virtue, using sports as a vehicle to build virtue. So again, we want to stress those lessons. We explain that. Bring in your entire sports family. When we do these mindset workshops, and we're happy to do this for you. If you let us know, contact us. We'll give your team a free mindset workshop. Just let us know. I'm fine with that. I'm looking more long-term at building relationships myself, too. With our business, with our great mindset coaches, we're looking to build a business with other people, other coaches, and other teams around the country. And I know the ones that are, I know a lot of you that are out there. If you've been giving me such great feedback, thank you for it. And for those of you that I haven't met, but I know you're watching the videos, we're looking to build relationships with you. If mindset is something that you prize, if you're speaking the same language as us, if you want to use sports as a vehicle to build virtue, we want to do that with you guys. We'll give you a free mindset workshop. I don't care. That's fine. I'm looking long term. So let's get everyone on the same page. Bring your parents, bring the coaches, bring the athletes, bring the feeder program, bring the counter sex sport, right? So if you're the boys soccer coach, bring the girls soccer team in with you, right? If you're whatever sport it is, it doesn't make a difference. If you're the boys track, bring the girls track in too, right? Bring everyone together. Bring the youth programs in there. That's how you get roots in the location, and all the friends are speaking the same language, all the coaches, all the teachers, the parents. That's how you build a dynasty. That's how you become perennial. Year in and year out, you're successful. So let me know. At the end of this call, send us an email. We will give your team a free mindset workshop. If this is something you want to do, I'm serious about it. I don't care if we get 300 inquiries. We'll do it. We have the staff. We have people that care. At Winning Mindset, we genuinely care about you guys. So come to us, let us know, and we want to use sports as this. We want to help your school use sports as a vehicle to build virtue. We're looking at it in the long term. 2020 is set to be the greatest, God willing, of course, is set to be the greatest year in Winning Mindset history. We've helped more teams, more sports. It just keeps growing. We want to help you too. So like I said, we got to keep our eyes on the prize. We got to build a culture. We want to think long term. We want to think about building roots in each school. We want to talk about building roots in each student athlete, right? We don't want dumb jocks. We want scholar athletes. And the way we build deep roots is by getting on the same page that we're using sports as a vehicle to build virtue. Competence is confidence. Discipline is discipline. Organization is organization. Do you have it or not? We want to help give you those tools. Make sure you reach out to us. Send us an email, mindset@zwinningmindset.com. We'll give you a free team mindset workshop. Just let us know. Remember, as I always say, it doesn't make a difference in sports, school, or life. Mindset makes the difference. And I'm not going to see you before Christmas, so Merry Christmas. God bless you. God bless your families, your loved ones. Be safe. This time of year, there's a lot of people making silly decisions. Be safe. Do the right thing. But enjoy your holidays. God bless you. Make sure you stay with us. We'll be with you again next week. Same place, same time. Mindset Monday. Take care.